Life is a complex, chaotic journey filled with challenges that can seem overwhelming. But imagine a woman standing in the midst of it all, amidst the noise, the obstacles, and the setbacks. She doesn't falter. She doesn't yield. She is the embodiment of resilience, not because life has been kind to her, but because she has chosen to be unbreakable. To never give up is to embrace responsibility, even when it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. This woman doesn't shy away from chaos. She doesn't crumble under the pressure of uncertainty. Instead, she sees it for what it is, the raw material from which greatness is built. Chaos is not her enemy, it is her canvas. Her strength is not born from luck or privilege, but from deliberate action. She sets goals that matter, goals that are meaningful, even when the world tries to convince her that she cannot achieve them. She understands that the act of striving itself is transformative. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a declaration of her will to prevail. What makes her truly extraordinary is her ability to balance her unyielding strength with compassion for herself and for others. She knows that pushing forward isn't about brute force, it's about understanding, adaptability, and grace. Through her resilience, she uplifts those around her, demonstrating that perseverance isn't just an individual endeavor, but a source of collective inspiration. Adversity is a constant in her life. Pain, setbacks, failures, these are not foreign to her. But she doesn't see suffering as the end. She sees it as the beginning. The hardships she faces become the forge that tempers her spirit. She learns, adapts, and grows, becoming stronger with every trial. Most importantly, she never surrenders her power of choice. The world may try to dictate her limitations, but she refuses to submit. She chooses action over passivity, courage over fear, and hope over despair. In every moment of doubt, she reaffirms her commitment to rise again. A woman who never gives up is not a mythical figure. She is a living testament to the power of human will. She is proof that no matter how daunting the road may seem, resilience and determination can lead not only to survival, but to triumph. Through her journey, she reminds us all that perseverance isn't just a virtue, it's a way of life. Life is inherently chaotic, unpredictable, and filled with challenges that can leave even the most determined among us questioning our path. For a woman who refuses to give up, this chaos is not a source of despair, but a fundamental truth she accepts with courage and clarity. Responsibility becomes her compass, guiding her through the storms of uncertainty. To embrace responsibility is to recognize that the world is not fair, nor is it designed to cater to anyone's specific desires or plans. This woman understands that waiting for circumstances to align perfectly is a futile endeavor. The chaos that surrounds her, the broken systems, the unexpected crises, and the endless noise is not a sign of failure. It is the environment in which she operates, and she chooses to take ownership of her place within it. She does not blame the chaos for her struggles. Instead, she looks inward and asks, "What can I do about it?" Taking responsibility requires a deep confrontation with reality. It demands honesty. This woman does not sugarcoat the difficulties she faces or pretend that the chaos will dissipate on its own. She acknowledges the challenges for what they are: messy, complex, and often painful. But this acknowledgement is not paralyzing, it is liberating. By accepting the reality of her circumstances, she positions herself as an active participant in shaping her future, rather than a passive victim of circumstance. The relationship between chaos and responsibility is a profound one. Chaos is not just a backdrop, it is a force that threatens to overwhelm anyone who lacks the strength or clarity to navigate it. A woman who never gives up does not avoid chaos, she steps into it willingly, knowing that responsibility is her anchor. Responsibility is not just a burden, it is a source of power. When she chooses to take responsibility, she asserts control over what she can influence, even if it's just a small corner of her life. That control, however limited, is enough to start transforming chaos into order. This process is not without its struggles. Chaos often feels insurmountable. There will be moments when it seems as though every effort is swallowed by the disorder around her. But the woman who refuses to give up does not succumb to these feelings of futility. Instead, she persists, finding small ways to create structure amidst the disarray. A task completed, a relationship repaired, a moment of clarity amidst confusion. These acts of responsibility are her victories. They may seem minor, even insignificant, but they represent her ability to act in the face of overwhelming odds. Her relationship with chaos is not adversarial. She does not see it as an enemy to be vanquished, but as an intrinsic part of life. Chaos contains the seeds of creation. It is the soil from which innovation, growth, and resilience can spring. Without chaos, there would be no challenges to overcome, no need for the strength that responsibility fosters. This woman knows that her growth is tied to her willingness to face the uncertainty head-on and transform it into something meaningful. Embracing responsibility also means accepting the consequences of her actions. This woman does not shy away from accountability. She understands that every choice she makes carries weight, and that owning the outcomes of those choices, whether good or bad, is an integral part of her journey. Accountability is not a punishment, it is a reflection of her commitment to live authentically and with purpose. Each misstep is an opportunity to learn, to recalibrate, and to grow stronger. The world often tries to downplay the importance of personal responsibility, encouraging blame, distraction, or avoidance instead. But a woman who refuses to give up sees through these temptations. She knows that embracing responsibility is not about bearing every burden alone, but about acknowledging her role in the greater story of her life. It is about standing tall amidst the chaos, not because she has all the answers, but because she is willing to seek them. She takes responsibility not just for her actions, but for her attitude, her growth, and her capacity to make a difference, however small. Through this perspective, chaos becomes less of a threat and more of a challenge she is willing to face with courage and resilience. In taking responsibility, she finds not only the strength to endure, but the power to thrive. Set meaningful goals amid adversity, and you transform the very fabric of your struggle into a path toward purpose. For a woman who never gives up, this principle is not just a strategy, it is a way of life. Goals provide a sense of direction. When everything else feels chaotic, they become her North Star, guiding her through the darkest moments when it would be far easier to surrender to despair or distraction. Adversity has a way of distorting our perspective, making it seem as though the challenges we face are insurmountable. It creates a fog that blurs our vision and whispers doubts into our minds. But the woman who perseveres knows that she cannot let the haze of difficulty determine her course. She sets her goals with precision and care, ensuring they reflect her values and aspirations rather than the limitations imposed by her circumstances. These goals may not be grand or glamorous at first. Sometimes they are as simple as surviving another day, completing a small task, or holding on to hope. Yet they are no less meaningful. Each goal, no matter how modest, serves as a stepping stone toward something greater. Establishing meaningful goals amid adversity is not just about giving herself something to do, it is about reclaiming agency in the face of chaos. Goals remind her that she is not powerless even when the weight of the world presses down. They represent her ability to choose, to act, and to create despite the odds stacked against her. Setting these goals requires a balance of realism and ambition. She does not deny the difficulty she faces, nor does she allow them to dictate the scope of her vision. Instead, she finds a way to dream within the boundaries of her reality, pushing against those boundaries with every step forward. The power of goals lies not only in their ability to provide direction, but also in the motivation they ignite. When adversity threatens to drain her spirit, her goals remind her why she started. They give her a reason to get out of bed, to fight through exhaustion, and to persevere even when progress feels impossibly slow. This motivation is deeply personal, rooted in her understanding of what truly matters to her. It is not about achieving for the sake of achievement or impressing others. It is about aligning her actions with her values, creating a sense of meaning that sustains her even when the path is rough. Adversity does not only test the strength of her goals, it refines them. In moments of struggle, she is forced to reevaluate and adjust her objectives. This process is not a sign of weakness, but of adaptability. She understands that clinging rigidly to a plan that no longer serves her is a form of self-sabotage. Instead, she learns to pivot, to recalibrate her efforts without losing sight of her ultimate purpose. Each adjustment brings her closer to clarity, teaching her what is truly essential and what can be left behind. The pursuit of meaningful goals also has a ripple effect. It inspires those around her, showing that progress is possible even in the face of great adversity. Her determination becomes a beacon, encouraging others to set their own goals and persevere through their challenges. This is not an act of self-sacrifice, but a natural outcome of her commitment to growth. By striving for something greater, she elevates not only herself, but those in her orbit. She is not immune to setbacks. There will be moments when she falls short, when the gap between her goals and her reality feels too vast to bridge. But she does not see these moments as failures. Instead, she views them as opportunities to learn and improve. Each misstep is a lesson in resilience, a chance to refine her strategy and deepen her resolve. She understands that the journey toward meaningful goals is not linear. It is a process of trial, error, and relentless effort. Ultimately, the act of setting meaningful goals amid adversity is a declaration of hope. It is a refusal to be defined by the circumstances she finds herself in. It is her way of saying, this is not the end of my story. With every goal she pursues, she reclaims her power, her purpose, and her place in the world, proving time and again that adversity may shape her journey, but it will never dictate her destination. Harnessing inner strength through small wins is an art, a deliberate practice that builds resilience, self-belief, and momentum in the face of adversity. For a woman who refuses to give up, this principle is her lifeline. It is not the towering victories or grand achievements that sustain her in her most trying moments. It is the collection of small wins that act as stepping stones on her journey. Each small win is a reminder of her capability, a spark that lights the path ahead. Inner strength is not something she is born with. It is something she cultivates through persistence and patience. Small wins might seem insignificant to others, but she knows their value. They are proof that she is making progress, even when the larger goal still feels out of reach. A completed task, a moment of courage, or even a single step forward, all of these are victories that she claims with pride. She understands that strength is not a sudden burst of power. It is a steady accumulation of effort, day by day, moment by moment. The beauty of small wins lies in their accessibility. They do not require perfect circumstances or extraordinary resources. They are within her grasp, even in the midst of chaos. When the world feels overwhelming, she breaks her challenges into manageable pieces, focusing on what she can accomplish here and now. This practice not only helps her move forward, but also shields her from the paralysis that often accompanies overwhelming situations. By narrowing her focus, she transforms an intimidating mountain into a series of achievable hills. Small wins also build confidence. Each time she accomplishes something, no matter how minor, she reinforces the belief that she is capable of overcoming obstacles. This confidence is cumulative. It strengthens her resolve and prepares her for greater challenges ahead. With each success, her self-doubt diminishes, replaced by a growing trust in her ability to navigate difficulties. This trust is not arrogance, it is hard-earned self-reliance, born from the recognition of her own efforts and achievements. These victories do more than boost her morale, they create momentum. A single small win can set off a chain reaction, making it easier to tackle the next challenge. Success breeds success. The energy she gains from one accomplishment fuels her pursuit of the next, creating a rhythm of progress that carries her forward, even when the path is steep. This momentum becomes her ally, a force that helps her push through moments of fatigue or discouragement. She knows that small wins are not just about action, they are also about perspective. Celebrating progress, no matter how incremental, is an act of gratitude and self-recognition. She does not dismiss her efforts as insignificant or expect perfection from herself. Instead, she honors the work she puts in, acknowledging that each step matters. This mindset not only fosters resilience, but also cultivates joy, allowing her to find moments of lightness even in difficult times. There are times when setbacks threaten to undo her progress. She may stumble, fall short of her goals, or face unexpected challenges, but because she values small wins, she knows how to start again. She looks for the next achievable step, no matter how small, and takes it. This ability to reset and refocus is a cornerstone of her strength. It keeps her moving forward even when the road is uneven. In the end, her reliance on small wins is not a sign of settling for less. It is a testament to her understanding of growth and resilience. She knows that every great achievement begins with small steps, and that inner strength is built not in an instant, but over time through countless acts of persistence and courage. Small wins are her foundation, her proof that progress is always possible, and her reminder that even the smallest step forward is a victory worth celebrating. Balancing strength with compassion is one of the most profound traits of a woman who refuses to give up. Strength alone, untempered by empathy, can become rigid and unyielding. Compassion without strength can falter under pressure. It is the harmony of these two qualities that allows her to persevere in a way that is not only resilient but deeply impactful. Her strength is evident in her ability to face challenges head on. It is in the way she rises each time she falls, in her determination to continue striving despite setbacks, and in her unwavering commitment to her goals. This strength is not the absence of fear or struggle, but the ability to move forward despite them. Yet, what makes her remarkable is that her strength does not harden her, it does not turn her bitter or indifferent. Instead, she tempers it with compassion, ensuring that her pursuit of resilience does not come at the expense of her humanity. Compassion begins with herself. A woman who never gives up understands that inner strength flourishes when she treats herself with kindness and patience. She recognizes that being unrelentingly hard on herself is not the same as being strong. When she stumbles or feels overwhelmed, she allows herself grace. This self-compassion is not an excuse for complacency, but a way to replenish her spirit so she can keep moving forward. It is her acknowledgement that she is human, that progress is not always linear, and that strength can coexist with vulnerability. Her compassion extends outward, touching those around her. In her journey, she encounters others who are also struggling, also striving, and she offers them empathy and understanding. She does not judge their struggles or compare their challenges to her own. Instead, she sees their humanity and offers support where she can. This outward compassion is not a distraction from her own goals, it is a source of renewal. By lifting others, she strengthens herself, creating a ripple effect of resilience and kindness. Balancing strength with compassion also means knowing when to push and when to pause. There are moments when her drive to keep going could lead to burnout or harm, either to herself or to those around her. In these moments, her compassion becomes a guide, reminding her to listen to her own needs and to the needs of others. It is this balance that allows her to persevere sustainably without sacrificing her well-being or the relationships that matter most. This harmony is also what enables her to lead. Her strength inspires those around her, showing them that perseverance is possible. Her compassion makes her relatable, showing them that it is okay to struggle and that they are not alone. Together, these qualities create a leadership style that is both motivating and nurturing. People look to her not just because of what she achieves, but because of how she achieves it with courage and care. She knows that balancing strength with compassion is not always easy. There are times when it feels simpler to rely on one and neglect the other. When the world demands relentless action, it can be tempting to ignore her need for empathy and rest. When the weight of her struggles feels overwhelming, it can be tempting to retreat into softness, abandoning the fight altogether. But she resists these extremes, knowing that her true power lies in the balance. This balance also gives her a deeper sense of purpose. Her strength allows her to strive, to overcome, and to build. Her compassion gives meaning to these efforts, ensuring that her journey is not just about surviving, but about creating something better for herself and for those around her. Together, strength and compassion form the foundation of her resilience, enabling her to persist with both determination and grace. Turning suffering into a catalyst for growth is a defining trait of a woman who refuses to give up. Suffering in its many forms is a universal experience. It humbles, it tests, and it shapes the human spirit. For this woman, however, suffering is not merely an inevitable burden of existence. Instead, she transforms it into a powerful force for self-discovery, resilience, and growth. She begins by confronting suffering head-on. Many choose to avoid it, to distract themselves, or to deny its presence, but she knows that ignoring suffering only prolongs its grip. She faces it with courage, acknowledging its weight and its reality. This acknowledgement does not mean that she accepts suffering passively. Rather, it is the first step in reclaiming her power. By confronting it directly, she removes its ability to dominate her life from the shadows. She chooses to name it, examine it, and understand it. In this confrontation, she begins to extract meaning from her pain. Suffering is not random or meaningless to her, it is a teacher. Each setback, loss, or hardship carries within it a lesson, a challenge, or an opportunity. She refuses to let her suffering define her in negative terms. Instead, she asks herself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? What does this moment teach me about who I am and who I want to become? These questions guide her through her darkest moments, helping her transform pain into purpose. This transformation is not immediate, nor is it easy. Growth through suffering requires effort, reflection, and an openness to change. It demands that she let go of old patterns, beliefs, or attachments that no longer serve her. Sometimes this process feels like breaking apart before coming back together, but she embraces this breaking as necessary for her evolution. She understands that growth often requires discomfort, and she is willing to endure it for the sake of becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Her ability to turn suffering into growth also allows her to connect more deeply with others. Pain has a way of isolating people, of making them feel alone in their struggles. But she uses her own experiences with suffering to build empathy. She recognizes the pain in others and offers understanding, not pity. Her resilience becomes a source of inspiration, showing those around her that suffering does not have to be the end of the story. She becomes a beacon, proving that it is possible to endure, to heal, and to thrive. Importantly, she does not romanticize suffering. She does not believe that pain is inherently good or that it should be sought out. Rather, she acknowledges that while suffering is often unavoidable, what matters is how she responds to it. She does not let herself be consumed by bitterness or despair. Instead, she channels her energy into growth, using her pain as a source of fuel. This choice to transform rather than succumb is what sets her apart. Suffering also teaches her resilience. Each time she overcomes a challenge, she builds the confidence and inner strength to face the next one. Over time, she develops an unshakable belief in her ability to endure. This resilience does not mean that she becomes immune to pain. She still feels deeply, still struggles, still mourns, but she learns that she is capable of moving through it, that every ending can also be a beginning if she chooses to make it so. Through this process, she discovers parts of herself she never knew existed, depths of courage, reservoirs of strength, and an unyielding spirit. Suffering, while painful, becomes a mirror, reflecting her true self back to her. She sees not just her wounds, but her power to heal, not just her losses, but her capacity to rebuild. And in that reflection, she finds hope. Ultimately, by turning suffering into a catalyst for growth, she refuses to be defined by what has happened to her. She defines herself by how she chooses to respond. Her journey is a testament to the transformative power of resilience, showing that even in the face of profound pain, it is possible to emerge not only whole but stronger, wiser, and more alive than ever before. A woman who never gives up is deeply aware of the power of choice. This awareness is not about denying the harsh realities of life or pretending that challenges do not exist. It is about recognizing that, regardless of what happens to her, she has the power to decide how she responds. Life may be full of adversity, setbacks, and struggles, but at every juncture, she understands that she has the ultimate authority over her actions, her attitude, and her future. Choice is a profound tool of empowerment. In a world that often feels chaotic and uncontrollable, the one thing she can always rely on is the ability to make decisions. This power does not come from a place of privilege or external circumstances, but from within. It is a recognition that she holds the reins of her life, and no matter the external conditions, she can choose how to navigate through them. Whether facing a career setback, a personal loss, or a challenging relationship, she chooses her response. This is not always an easy task, especially in moments of pain, frustration, or confusion, but it is an essential one. Her choices are not made impulsively. She is deliberate and thoughtful about the decisions she makes, weighing them carefully against her long-term goals, values, and aspirations. She doesn't let the momentary storms of life cloud her judgment. Instead, she considers each choice as an opportunity for growth, and she understands that even the smallest decision can have a ripple effect on her future. By exercising this power of choice, she not only reaffirms her autonomy, but also establishes a sense of purpose in every action she takes. What makes this woman truly extraordinary is her ability to choose her mindset. She understands that the way she views the world shapes her experience of it. When confronted with hardship, she can choose to view it as an obstacle or as an opportunity for growth. She can choose to let it define her in negative ways, or she can choose to let it strengthen her character. This mindset is not about blind optimism. It is about a conscious decision to face life with resilience and courage. By making this choice, she cultivates a sense of inner peace and determination that allows her to keep moving forward, even when things seem impossible. Her awareness of choice also makes her highly adaptable. Life is unpredictable, and there are times when plans don't go as expected, when dreams are delayed, or when paths become obscured. But because she knows that she can choose her response, she learns to adjust. She may alter her course, shift her perspective, or change her approach, but she never loses sight of her agency. Her ability to pivot in the face of adversity is a testament to her strength and wisdom. She knows that she doesn't have to be rigid in her plans. What matters is that she keeps moving and making choices that align with her values and her long-term goals. At times, the power of choice is also about setting boundaries. She understands that in order to preserve her well-being, she must choose where to invest her energy. She can choose to say no when necessary, prioritizing her own needs over the demands of others or the pressure to please. This doesn't make her selfish, rather, it makes her strong and self-aware. By choosing to protect her time, energy, and emotional health, she is better equipped to give her best to those she loves, her work, and her passions. Ultimately, the power of choice gives her the ability to shape her own narrative. Life may throw challenges at her, but she holds the pen. She refuses to let circumstances define her story. She chooses to be the hero of her own journey, one decision at a time. Through each choice, she reaffirms her capacity for resilience and her unwavering determination to continue moving forward. She knows that, while she may not control everything that happens to her, she always has control over how she chooses to respond, and that, in the end, is what will determine the course of her life. A woman who never gives up is a force of nature, a testament to the indomitable human spirit. She faces adversity head-on, never allowing challenges to dictate her future. She sets meaningful goals, even in the darkest of times, and pursues them with relentless determination. She knows that the path to success is paved not with grand victories alone, but with small wins that accumulate over time, each one strengthening her resolve. Her strength is tempered by compassion, allowing her to persevere without losing sight of her humanity. She balances her unyielding determination with kindness both to herself and to others. This balance enables her to keep moving forward without burning out, and it also inspires those around her to do the same. She is not just a survivor, she is a beacon of hope, showing that it is possible to endure hardship while maintaining grace and empathy. Through every trial, she turns suffering into a catalyst for growth. She does not allow her pain to define her. Instead, she uses it as a powerful tool for self-discovery and transformation. With each setback, she emerges stronger, wiser, and more resilient, proving that the greatest lessons in life often come from the most challenging moments. Above all, she recognizes the power of choice. In a world full of uncertainty, she understands that the one thing she can control is how she responds. She chooses her mindset, her actions, and her path forward. Her decisions shape her life and allow her to maintain agency even in the most difficult of circumstances. By exercising her power of choice, she reaffirms her autonomy and continues to move toward her goals, no matter how tough the road may be. A woman who never gives up embodies the true meaning of resilience. She does not allow her circumstances to define her. Instead, she shapes her own story with each decision, each step, and each challenge she overcomes. She is a living testament to the power of persistence, the strength of the human spirit, and the beauty that arises from refusing to give up. And in doing so, she shows us all that no matter what life throws our way, we too can choose to keep going and emerge victorious.